Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 24 on Calmsden Farm with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, I have our small Massey set up here on our mulcher so we can get kicked off on the field prep for field 10. I have completed all our chores this morning, including riding the horses. And actually, if we take a look at our loan here, we can see we're down to 200,000 thanks to our chores this morning and the canola harvest. And speaking of which, I have our truck sitting here in our silo with the leftover canola. So we had an extra 14,000 liters, that's ours, so we'll take that. I'll dump that in here. Another nice little addition on top of our the money for the contract, so I'll just leave the truck sit there for now. And we'll jump in the tractor and we'll head off to field 10 to start that prep work so we can get our oats in there. This and the baling contract are the only jobs we have on for today. We have a little rain in the forecast, but it's only a shower that's scheduled for an hour around 2 o'clock, I believe it is. Well, would you look at that? It seems someone came in here overnight and threw a bunch of straw over the field. Okay, not buying that. I suppose it is possible. I forgot I needed to pick this up. So you guys wait right here and I'll be right back. Well, this outfit should work out a little better for us, I think. I guess technically I could have mulched the field, but I would have lost all this straw, which really wasn't the point. You notice I'm using the front rake. I don't use it that much when I'm dealing with just grass work, but I like to use it when I'm dealing with picking up straw. And that's because of these large piles coming up here. It really helps with picking these up and the cleanup afterwards. I mean, with this harvester, these are really large piles. With some of the smaller harvesters, they're not so bad. But just like that, can back up and clean them up. Now I do find that it is better to run slightly off center. If it's actually moving the swath a little bit, it seems to work a little better, I find. Anyways, I think I'm going to make a montage out of the field work on here today. So sit back and enjoy. Well, there we are. Yield 10 done. Now next month when the crop comes up, we'll spray it for herbicide and fertilizer. So next on the agenda is to take care of that baling contract. I'm going to go ahead and mow the field and bale it, and I'll bring you back in when I get that done. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, as you can see, all the grass has been cut and baled, and now it's normally at this point that we bring a bale wrapper down and wrap these bales up so we could deliver them to the sell point. But that's where we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to leave these as grass bales, and we are going to deliver loose silage from our stock. So I'll get the tractor here back to the farm and I'll meet you there. Got our truck set up here at our farm production. This is where all our silage is stored. And if we go and look, as you can see, we have a pile of silage, so that's why we can do this. And all it does is it saves us that step of having to wrap the bales. And in our case, buy a bale wrapper because we don't have one right now for the large square bales. Now I actually did deliver one load just to make sure the sell point would take loose. I have done this on other maps, but I hadn't done it yet on here. So I just wanted to make sure it was going to work before before I showed you guys. Anyways, I know it's not rocket science, but that's just something a little different for us here on Calmsden anyways, and something I do on other maps from time to time if I've got the capacity for large amounts of silage. I might as well keep you guys in and you can come for a little drive. It's been a while since we've been down here. That hill doesn't look that steep, but it sure puts our equipment to the test coming up there. This also works out pretty well because we've got room in our farm production for that grass. So we don't have to store, so we can dump it right in there and we can process it to both silage and hay. And there we go. I think we'll have to take one more load after this, I believe, but that should finish the contract. Yep, one more load should do it. So I'll get that done, and I'll get those bales picked up, and I'll catch up with you then. Well, just finished delivering our fourth load of silage down here. The third load didn't quite finish it, but we ended up actually selling most of the fourth load, but it's really no big deal. 4 loads equals 200,000 liters of silage. We had nearly 2 million, so really no issue at all. So now we should be able to complete that contract. There we go. So we can take and throw a little bit more money on the loan. And I think that's it for today on the farm. We're actually going to finish in the daylight. I can't remember the last time that happened here. But I don't expect the trend to last, because next month we should start with sugar beet and corn harvest. So you know the drill. I will get up and get the chores taken care of, and I will meet you in the morning. Well, as you can see, we're a little later in the day, and that's not because I got a late start. I have been working on the chores, but while I've been doing that, I picked up a large sugar beet harvest on field 5. So I've had that going on. Basically a worker's been doing that for me, and I've been doing the carting. So I've got all our chores done. You can see we're up to 110,000, so that was another pretty good day, but we did have a little extra fertilizer because of topping up the digestate. Anyways, I am going to spray. As you can see, I got the sprayer set up here, and if we look at our field data, we have weeds and we have no fertilizer, and that's the case on all 3 of our cereal fields we just planted. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. While that's going on, I'm going to let that harvest continue to run, and then once I'm finished that, I am going to put a pause on that and move our equipment up to our sugar beet field because it is ready, and we'll get that done. But by comparison, it's not going to take very long. Our corn is not ready. That won't be till next month. So that's what our plan is. We'll get our fields taken care of here. We'll get the sugar beet and that sorghum harvest taken care of on the contract side, and our sugar beet field done. So that's the plan for this month. So I'm going to carry on with this, and I'll get up with you when I get the equipment moved up to our sugar beet field. While we're up here, I've moved the equipment from field 5 up to our field. And kicking off our sugar beet harvest here. The worker managed to complete just about 50%. But I wanted to get a start on here, and I wanted to get started before it got dark so I could record that. I got all the fertilizing done, but the spraying, weed spraying, is not complete yet. Weed spraying goes a little bit slower than the fertilizing does. Picked up a little bit of a cough again I'm struggling with, so I apologize for that. Now this field's a fraction of the size of field 5, so I'm hoping if I work on into the evening I can get this done, or mostly done. And then tomorrow we'll carry on with field 5, and we do have a small sorghum harvest to do as well. Get turned around here and get headed in the right direction for offloading. I didn't have much of a choice. I had to kind of cut my way into the field, so now we're headed the right way. I think I mentioned previously, this is a job I like to do mostly in cab when I've not got a worker doing it. And I am a little concerned if we'll have enough storage room for all the sugar beets. I mean, not concerned about the stuff that comes off our field, but we should have some left over off the contract. Might end up having, even though the price is probably not that great, selling it some off just because we don't have room to put them anywhere. Them birds are noisy down here. Probably the guy in the church up the road gets them all stirred up. All the time we spend here on Calmsden Farm, he's still pounding out that same song. With that sugar beet harvest, you know, I think it's within our reach to pay off our loan this month. If not, boy, we're going to be darn close. Didn't want to back into our truck. I think we've got about 20 hours on that truck now. Doesn't look any better. The paint hasn't improved, but it has worked good for us. Though it does struggle pulling that trailer loaded with, behind it loaded with sugar beets or potatoes on the hills around here. Got a pretty easy haul back to our place here with these sugar beets though, so should be okay. For that contract, have to haul them up High Test Hill there. I can almost get out and walk faster. hoping we're going to make it to the corner here, but it's going to be close. Now that's the way things go for a Murphy right there. I think though, I'm going to sneak over here along this hedge. And I should be able to bring the truck down there and get it unloaded. Oh yeah, no problem. I'll catch up with you in just a minute when I get the truck organized. A little more paint off the truck certainly isn't going to hurt anything. I don't think we'd even notice. Yeah, 19.5 hours. Is missing a little paint. Still hauls. Well, that's the first of a few hopper loads that we're going to get off this field. I think I'll just carry on right down to here, start around again. Anyways, I'll carry on with this, and it'll probably be tomorrow morning. And I'll catch up with you, let you know how we made it. Well, good morning and welcome back to the farm. We're down here at field 10, and as you can see, the weeds are still here. I didn't get this field sprayed. I have completed our chores this morning. That included riding the horses, and I topped up the feed for the pigs and the cows. I did complete the sugar beet harvest last night on our field, and we got just over 500,000 liters. The majority of that went into our pig food production, although I did top up our market garden production as well. Oh, speaking of sugar beet harvest, while I was doing chores this morning, I had the contract going, so let's take a check and see how he's making out. Oh, 80%. It won't be too long and he'll be done. I'm going to take care of the weeds in this field. Well, contract on field 5 continues. Once that contract's complete, we'll move on to the what was it, sorghum harvest we have to do. So that's the immediate plans. We could also start, if there's time, turning around our sugar beet field. It'll need liming, plowing, rock picking. That's about it for this year, I guess, because my intention would be to put sugar beets back in there again. But that's a decision I'll probably leave up to whoever the new farm manager or caretaker or owner is, however you want to look at it. Anyways, I'll take care of this field and bring in for an update in a little bit. There we go, a field of dead weeds. But I just checked the time and realized we are out of time for this episode. Once again, caught me by surprise a little bit. So we'll pick it up from here the next episode. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this entertaining or informative in any way, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode, it's Farmer Murphy signing off. Till next time.